bringing back the Blitz.
During the 10-day operational period, that trend shifted.
When Winnipeg police will start a new crackdown campaign on open drug use. Also tonight,
for the city and the region to keep growing and for our economy to keep moving, we got to build this kind of infrastructure.
How much money the province is putting towards the long-awaited Phase 3 of the North End Sewage Treatment Plant. And later, narrowing down the notifications.
It's easier for them to issue it, easier for them to update it, and that's all a good thing.
The weather alert system is getting an overhaul. What could happen the next time severe storms roll through?
CTV News. Live from downtown Winnipeg with Taylor Brock.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Tomorrow, police are kicking off a 3-month-long targeted blitz in specific areas of the city, but say they're doing things differently this time around. CTV's Danton Unger explains.
Winnipeg police are set to begin another drug blitz.
Enforcement isn't a solution by itself, but it has a place.
It comes after the 10-day crackdown in June on open drug use in downtown and Point Douglas, areas police say had seen increasing crime and calls for service, as well as the highest rates of naloxone administration in the city. On Thursday, police gave a first look at the results of that blitz. 106 arrests, including 93 for warrants or breaches, 5 for drug possession, and 3 for drug trafficking. 7 people were also taken into the 72-hour drug detention center. As a result, police say compared to the same time last year, property crime dropped 10.5% to 263 incidents. Violent crime was down 16.5% to 106 incidents, and emergency calls were down 6% to 155 calls.
In the week or two following, we did see kind of a sustainment of results in terms of crime.
However, the initial crackdown faced heavy criticism from some in the community who were concerned it was doing more harm than good for those struggling with addiction and homelessness. So Police Chief Gene Bauer says this time they'll be doing it differently.
That community organizations should have been part of our efforts, hence we're here today.
Uniformed officers will be working with community outreach teams, part of a new coalition of 11 urban Indigenous and homelessness advocacy groups.
Indigenous organizations lead the engagement through their trusted relationships, cultural knowledge, and lived experience, while police provide support and resources where appropriate.
It's an approach Winnipeg Mayor Scott Gillingham is happy to see.
We can be compassionate towards those who are struggling with addiction and yet still not tolerate open illegal drug use.
Danton Unger, CTV News, Winnipeg.
This new crackdown begins tomorrow in the downtown and Point Douglas areas like before, though police are adding Osborne Village to its target areas. It runs until November, when police will reassess the program. A driver who was drunk when he hit and killed 2 cyclists in Winnipeg last September has been sentenced to 8 years in prison. Guldeep Singh Gill was arrested a few hours after the crash on Kenaston Boulevard. He left the scene of the high-speed crash, which killed 31-year-old Igor Popov and his common-law partner, 25-year-old Carrie Bonner. The judge handed down the sentence Tuesday. Gill previously pleaded guilty in February to 2 counts of impaired driving causing death and 2 counts of leaving the scene of a fatal crash. Both Popov and Bonner died from multiple blunt force injuries sustained in the collision, leaving their 9-month-old daughter orphaned. The judge also ordered a lifetime driving ban in Canada, based in part on a previous impaired driving conviction in Manitoba. Court heard Gill, who is a permanent resident born in India, most likely faces deportation after serving his sentence. Gill apologized in court for what he described as a, quote, terrible and selfish decision. The province is stepping in to help fund Phase 3 of the city's North End Sewage Treatment Plant.
We're good for $500 million towards the North End water treatment plant. This is a big project for more housing. We got to keep the economy moving here. And not only are we making the investment here, but we've been doing the negotiations with the feds to get them there for their share. And we just want to make sure that the city delivers this thing on budget now.
This phase is projected to cost some $1.57 billion. Included is a new facility to remove nutrients from treated water, making it cleaner when it enters the river. The province previously committed more than $432 million to phases 1 and 2, more than half of which has already been paid. Phase 1 was completed earlier this year, and the second phase is expected to soon get underway. The entire project is expected to cost more than $3 billion. A city report last month said the new facilities are expected to begin treating biosolids in October of 2030 and will be complete by the following March. Manitoba researchers are hoping a new partnership will help cut the number of people being diagnosed with and having serious outcomes from lung cancer caused by radon. Radon is a colorless, tasteless, odorless gas that seeps into homes through the ground. It's actually the leading cause of lung cancer among those who've never smoked and is responsible for an estimated 16% of all lung cancer deaths in Canada. Now, the Manitoba Lung Association, St. Boniface Hospital Research Foundation, and a Manitoba company called Biomark Diagnostics are hoping to make early detection easier.
Really, it's about establishing a simple blood-based test based on biomarker innovative technology that will allow us to establish early detection of lung cancer. In our context, we're looking specifically at radon-induced lung cancer.
While the researchers are focused on radon-induced lung cancer at the moment, we're told the same techniques could be used to minimize the health impacts of wildfire smoke. Winnipeg drivers are being warned of major traffic disruptions this weekend. The city says rail crossing maintenance work will close Keniston Boulevard in its entirety between Lindenwood Drive East and Rothwell Road, and Lagimodiere Boulevard will close to southbound traffic between Dugald Road to Marion Street. Both of those closures begin Friday at 6 p.m. and end Monday at 6 a.m. 2 more Manitoba communities are being sprayed for mosquitoes to reduce the risk of West Nile virus exposure. Data from last week shows high numbers of adult mosquitoes and evidence of West Nile infection in the areas around Morden and the municipality of Boissevain-Morton. The province says it'll spray Morden and an area 3 kilometers into the arm of Stanley, as well as a 3.5 kilometer radius around the intersection of Highway 10 and North Railway Street in Boissevain. The dates for fogging haven't been announced yet. As of July 31st, 91 mosquito samples tested positive for West Nile virus. If you were hoping to hit the greens at Gilbert Plains Community Club golf course this summer, you're out of luck. The course is closed for the rest of the season. The call was made due to, quote, ongoing conditions, repairs, and construction affecting the course. The area was hit with massive amounts of rain last month. It's working on next steps regarding refunds, and it's holding a 50-50 fundraiser to help pay for the insurance deductible. Some of the nation's best horses are trotting into Brandon. Canada's National Arabian Horse Show opened today at the Keystone Centre. It'll see upwards of 300 purebred and half Arabian horses compete in competitions ranging from performance halter to dressage and reining. The show is one of Canada's leading Arabian horse events. It runs until August 15th. And here's our first look at tonight's weather. It's currently 16 degrees. We are seeing a cloudy sky right now with pressure rising and humidity sitting at 68%. Tonight in Winnipeg, though, these clouds are expected to clear over the next few hours with temperatures dropping to a low of 13 degrees. At the same time, though, tomorrow morning we are expecting temperatures to reach 15 degrees Celsius, and sky will be mostly sunny for us tomorrow morning.
I remember that my phone was beeping all the time.
Frustrations have been mounting over false alarms. The changes coming to the weather alert system next. This summer, Winnipeg cell phones have been buzzing with frequent tornado alerts, but those warnings don't always lead to actual tornadoes in our area. Now, as CTV's John Hendricks shows you, Environment Canada is updating its warning system.
When tornadoes were spotted in southern Manitoba back in early June, Adriana Moreno got a number of warnings on her phone.
I remember that my phone was beeping all the time.
Which would have been great had she been close to the area where the tornadoes were, but she wasn't.
Maybe they didn't need that warning.
In the future, people like Moreno may get fewer of those false alarm warnings. Environment Canada is modernizing its alert system to provide more precise severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings by utilizing a polygon warning system. In a statement, a spokesperson writes, forecasters outline the area most likely to be affected by a severe thunderstorm or tornado and send a warning only to people in that area. These alert areas are also known as free-form polygons.
The United States have been using the system, this type of an approach for warnings for many years.
John Hanasak is an atmospheric science professor at the University of Manitoba. He says the polygon warning system is much more targeted to the areas where the storm is actually heading.
So people that are within, say, a half an hour or an hour of the storm, depending on how fast it's traveling, they would actually have the warnings go out just for that localized area as opposed to a whole bunch of people getting the warning.
And that will mean fewer false alarms for people like Adriana Moreno.
It's going to be a good thing.
The new system is scheduled to go online Tuesday, August 11th. John Hendricks, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Despite the new system, Environment Canada is warning intrusive alert-ready messages on TV and radio will not be noticeably more precise. Now, that's because of how large their broadcast areas are. However, it says wireless messages will be more precise and fewer mobile users will receive any given alert. Average home prices continued their upward trajectory across the Winnipeg region last month, even as total sales declined. The latest report from the Winnipeg Regional Real Estate Board shows the average price for a residential detached home rose to about $454,000. That's up 2% compared to July 2025 and 6% higher than the 5-year average. The average condo price also rose 2% to just shy of $291,000. Total sales for all listings fell 9% from last July. A new grocery store is setting up shop at a big Winnipeg mall. Canada's largest Asian grocery retailer, T&T Supermarket, is opening its first Manitoba store at CF Polo Park. The supermarket features a hot food bar, fresh Asian produce, baking, and Asian beauty products. The company, based in Richmond, BC, has been operating since 1993, but has seen rapid growth in recent years. It now has more than 40 locations across North America, including 37 in Canada. The Winnipeg store will occupy 48,000 square feet on the lower level of the mall. It's expected to open in spring of 2028. Shoppers can now load up on groceries and grab a bottle of wine in one place.
You can grab your mix and grab your hard stuff at the same time.
A new concept liquor mart is now open inside Save on Foods at Northgate Shopping Centre. Now, what makes this different from existing liquor mart express stores is that here all of the alcohol is behind glass and only is accessible by an employee. A digital menu board lists the available products and prices, and shoppers order, pay for, and collect their products from a service window.
What this brings here is our great convenience of being able to shop here with, a limited number of employees that still bring that service to the consumer with that knowledge and that product expertise.
Manitoba Liquor and Lottery says the store will be managed by 1 to 2 employees at a time. It's also the first fully cashless liquor mart. If the store proves popular, Liquor and Lottery says other locations will follow. You don't need a plane ticket to pay a visit to the Emerald Isles this week. And it's not just the world-class footwork you can look forward to at this Irish pavilion. You can get to know the style and history of Celtic art through the pavilion's cultural displays, this year heavily inspired by the famous centuries-old manuscript, the Book of Kells. You can check out the pavilion for the rest of this week at Soul Sanctuary, which is located on Chevrier Boulevard in the Linden Ridge area. And later in the show tonight, we'll take you inside the Scandinavian pavilion. A critically endangered butterfly is displaying significant steps towards recovery in Manitoba, thanks to the release of 199 of them this year. It's called the Pawa Chic skipperling. The dark brown and orange colored butterflies are currently only found in the Tall Grass Prairie Reserve in Manitoba and Flint, Michigan. The Assiniboine Park Conservancy and Nature Conservancy of Canada have been working together to help save the butterfly from extinction. At the Assiniboine Park Zoo, conservation scientists are breeding them in a controlled environment before releasing them back in the wild. This year, it had the second highest release rate in the program's history, pointing towards a positive direction.
One really major sign of success is that we released a bunch into a new site a couple of years ago, a reintroduction. So they were no longer found in this one patch of prairie. And then the following year, we saw wild individuals there. So that means the ones we released bred, laid eggs, and those eggs survived all the way through to adulthood the next year and were found in that site again. And we've seen that now for 3 years in a row.
The overall health of the population is showing significant improvement. There's a 19-time increase in observations of them at sites since annual monitoring began in 2018. Meantime, scientists have collected nearly 800 eggs in preparation for next year's release. Here's your opportunity to get your steps in and learn about the city's rich art history. The Winnipeg Art Council's Art Walks continue through the end of August. The free guided tours offer you not only a chance to see notable public artwork and monuments, but also to learn about their history, composition, and inspiration. Art is, of course, open to interpretation, and yours is heavily encouraged. You can head to winnipegarts.ca to find the full schedule and register. The Stanley Cup is coming to Winnipeg. After helping claim hockey's ultimate prize this season with the Carolina Hurricanes, Seth Jarvis plans to bring the cup back to his hometown. According to the Hurricanes, Jarvis will spend part of his day on August 10th at Tuxedo Community Center with an event open to the public. The photo op starts at 1 p.m. Snapshots are taking some of the guesswork out of farming. We'll show you the free app hoping to help save crops. Plus, cloudy and hot. We'll show you when you'll want to host your next barbecue. Still to come in your complete Skywatch forecast. Tonight's weather photo is of a gorgeous butterfly that Mike snapped on his camera, not in, a cage or anything. Thank you, Mike, for sending in this beautiful photo. You can send yours to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca. Taking a look over the next few days, it is going to be quite rainy further north, pretty much everywhere except for Gillam. I don't know why. It's just for some reason this system here is avoiding the area. So I don't know who lucked out or who to thank, but you folks are potentially being dry despite your neighbors seeing scattered showers throughout not just tomorrow but the weekend as well. Here in Winnipeg and much of southern Manitoba and potentially Kenora, we're going to start the day off mainly clear. However, folks in Kenora and parts of northwestern Ontario, there's a chance you could be seeing some scattered showers, more likely cloud coverage though, while folks in northern Manitoba all the way to the Interlake and potentially Barons River as well could be seeing some showers. There is that potential later on in the evening, Friday night, that could turn into a thunderstorm. Not overly likely though. And going into the weekend, things will be quite clear throughout for southern Manitoba. However, in the afternoon, you can expect some more cloud coverage as things actually get a little more intense along the Hudson Bay. Potentially a thunderstorm in Churchill on Saturday. Taking a look across the north, as we mentioned earlier, rainy over the next few days with Gillam again lucking out, mainly cloudy tomorrow with a high of 18 degrees. We are seeing a high of 18 degrees also in Flin Flon and the Pot tomorrow with that chance of rain, maybe even a thunderstorm. Tomorrow in Brandon, very nice temperatures, 24 degrees as your expected high. However, you'll be seeing a mix of sun and cloud. Here in Winnipeg, 24 degrees is our expected high as well, mainly sunny though. And over in northwestern Ontario tonight and tomorrow morning, a chance of some showers. However, throughout the day, more likely to be cloudy with 21 degrees as your expected high tomorrow in Kenora. Taking a look at the next 7 days here in Winnipeg, we could potentially be seeing some showers on Tuesday and or Wednesday, but really a beautiful weekend. Certainly the right time to get out and enjoy the beautiful summer weather while we still have it, as temperatures reach a high of 23 on Saturday. Farmers now have a valuable piece of equipment right in their pockets.
What you want to do is open the app up on your phone, take the picture.
A team at the University of Guelph has developed an app to help farmers improve their yields. It does so by detecting fusarium head blight, one of the most serious diseases for wheat crops. Using AI, the tool can detect the level of infection through a simple picture. Information gathered by each farmer stays with the user. Developers plan to keep the app free for the next year. Coming up, residents in a humble Atlantic town are walking on water. We'll show you how the engineering marvel works after these messages. Have you ever wanted to walk on water? Well, in New Brunswick, you can do just that. CTV's Avery McRae explains.
As the first official walkers on Rothsay's newest attraction, Melody Giovannini and Rose Elizabeth say,
I think it's really sturdy and it looks pretty well made. Yeah, and I like the seaweed and I like the view.
The Rothsay Float Walk is now open to the public. Located at the East Riverside Kinghurst Park, the walk on the water gives people a new view of the tidal Kennebecasis River.
How cool is it to kind of walk on water out there?
Very cool.
I don't know if I'd want to have been out here the other day when it was windy. You could see the waves really rocking it, but it is really nice.
It's wow. And a day like this, squishy. And it's also the Cadillac of docks.
The dock pieces have been in the town's possession for many years after they were first purchased to help combat severe Spring River flooding, which happened in both 2018 and 2019. Mayor Matt Alexander says the idea to use the docks for a floating walkway has been bantered about for years.
There's no swimming, no jumping, no tying your boats to it. It's not designed for that. People could probably fish off of it, but you got to make sure that you have the proper licensing and that you're not going to hook somebody.
Alexander points out the river waters can be rough during high winds and urges residents to use caution when walking on the docks. When asked if there is anywhere else in the region with a similar water walk, very few come to the mayor's mind.
I think Greenwich National Park and PEI has a floating walkway, but it goes from one dune to another. But I don't think there's anything in the river system where people can go up and down with the tides.
The mayor says he would like to see the walkway extended all the way to the Rothsay Wharf over a kilometer downriver. But until then, this stretch of water walking is giving people a whole new appreciation for a river they grew up on. Avery McRae, CTV News, Rothsay, New Brunswick.
This next story certainly isn't par for the course.
We saw it hit the green and we were like, whatever. So we just walked up, tried to get out there as quick as possible. There was a bunch of people waiting at the clubhouse for us. So they all saw it draw. All they saw was me take it out of the hole. Nobody saw it draw up. I picked up the ball and nobody believed me at first. Like I started freaking out.
We were at loss for words, as I am still now, and we're in absolute shock.
So here's what happened. 17-year-old Aiden Bahari was golfing in Northern Ontario last week at Highview Golf Course when he got not just one hole-in-one, but two on back-to-back holes. He actually only started golfing 3 years ago. Officials at the golf course say in the club's 40-year history, they've never had one person or the same group hit back-to-back holes-in-one. This Folklorama Pavilion is celebrating Christmas in August. We'll take you inside the festivities and we'll break down tomorrow's forecast next.
Clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
The high heat has officially broken for us here in Winnipeg. Tomorrow, temperatures are expected to reach a high of 23 degrees. However, with that humidity, it could potentially be feeling like 27. Earlier tonight, our tour around the world stopped at Folklorama's Scandinavian Pavilion. We leave you now with a performance from one of the 4 countries being represented there. Thanks for watching and good night.